Hello and welcome everyone to the USAPL Virginia Pro. We're coming to you live on the USAPL Virginia YouTube page, getting ready for our Q&A session. We'll be live in about 2 minutes. Thank you.
How do you feel about
Yeah,
USA
USA Powerlifting.
USA Powerlifting.
Got it. More specific.
How do you feel about seating?
That's fine.
Right?
Yeah.
Good.
Thanks, babe.
Didn't want my hand, Leo?
No, I didn't. All right.
I know. I don't do this. This is what you do? That goes here? Can you just... I'm just go with this. That's like a lady, right?
Yeah. A lady.
I feel like a lady once a year for this event.
Yeah. Huh?
Ashley looks so excited.
Yeah, he loves it. All right, so remember, I'll intro. I'll hand it off to you.
Okay.
Do the thing, and then we hand off.
I thought they
Where are their mics? Saber, where are their mics? Excuse me? Where are their mics? Scotty, do they have any mic? We hand them off? You got it. All right. So I'll hand one, you hand the other, and then they'll just work their way in. Is that all right? All right. Hey guys, just to give you guys a heads up, we're gonna hand you guys a mic to intro. She'll hand one on that side. I'll hand one on this side, and you guys just hand it off to each other. Name, where you're from, how many years you've been powerlifting, and then when we get to Perk and Ash, just hand it back to us, and we can kind of get going. Sound good? All right. Yeah, it was name, where you're from, how many years you've been powerlifting. Sound good? Good? All right, cool. Yeah, we can. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, does that sound good? And thanks so much, guys, for coming.
I'm stressed about how
Seriously, thank you guys so much for coming. Coming to you live from the Ashburn Shop Gym here. We are presenting our USA Powerlifting Virginia Pro Q&A. My name is Leo Buddha-Ndara, national referee here in the USAPL. I'm joined here by my esteemed colleague, USAPL Pro coach, Two White Lights contributor, podcast host, Solana Lewis. Solana, so glad to have you here back in Virginia.
I am so happy to be here. I haven't been here since last year's Pro, which was phenomenal.
Incredible.
And this is the first live Q&A I've ever really seen with such esteemed lifters. I'm very excited about it.
First of its kind.
Yes. So let's get started by introducing ourselves. Guys, you're going to say your name, how many years you've been powerlifting, and where you're from.
So hand the mic over there, and I'll hand one over here.
Start in the back.
All right. Hey everybody, my name is Lorenzo Wright. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina, and I've been powerlifting for about 3 years now.
I'm Heather Foss. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina, and I've been lifting for 9 years.
I'm Rose Kwong. I'm from Oswego, New York, and I've been powerlifting for 1 year.
I'm Amy Schmidt. I'm from Hampton Roads, Virginia, and I've been powerlifting for 6 years.
I'm Jocelyn Pepper West. I've been lifting for 4 years, and I'm from Denver, Colorado.
I am Sam Calhoun. I am from Centerville, Louisiana, but I currently live in Virginia, and I've been powerlifting for 7 years.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Penn. I am from Dallas, Texas, and I've been powerlifting for 6 years.
Hi, I'm Autumn Green. I'm from Wichita, Kansas, and I've been powerlifting for 5 years now.
Hi, I'm Ariel Patra. I live in Virginia, but originally from Cary, North Carolina, and I've been powerlifting for about 4.5 years.
Hi, I'm Juliana Yorno. I live in Richmond, Virginia, and I've been powerlifting for 4 years now.
What's going on, guys? My name is Sean Noriega, originally from Long Island, New York, currently living in Miami, Florida, and I've been powerlifting for 9 years.
Hi, I'm Eric Lapointe from New Hampshire, and I've been powerlifting for 8 years.
Hi, Charlie Ying from Fort Worth, Texas, living in Austin, Texas now, and I've been powerlifting for 7 years.
Hey guys, my name is Richard Cho. I live in Austin, Texas, and I've been training for 10 years.
All right, my name is Austin Perkins. I've been powerlifting for 11 years, and I'm from Jackson, Mississippi.
I'm Bob Matthews from Brooklyn, New York, and I've been powerlifting for 4 years.
Hi, I'm Connor Borker from Northern Virginia. Been powerlifting for about 5 years at this point.
Hey, how y'all doing? I'm Tracy Gilliard. Been powerlifting for around 3 years, so this is my 3rd year. I'm from Charleston, South Carolina, but I live here in the DMV now.
Hi, I'm Helena Wu. I'm from New Jersey, live in Pennsylvania, and I have been powerlifting for 6 years.
Hi, I'm Allie Weinberg. I'm currently living in Florida from New Jersey, and I've been lifting for about 6 years also.
Handing this over to Celine and Ashton.
Hi, I'm Celine Crum, South Carolina, and I've been powerlifting for 5 years.
All right, we saved the best for last. I'm Ashton. I've been powerlifting for 9.5 years, and I'm from San Antonio, Texas.
Thank you for that lovely intro, guys. Let's open it up for our questions because don't want to beleaguer the point. We only have an hour. We want to try to spread these questions out to as many lifters as we can. So let's open it up with our first one. Let's go directly to the man of the hour, the man who closed us out, Ashton. Ashton, talk to us a little bit about how meet prep is going and how has momentum been? I know you've been talking a little bit about kind of being a little banged up leading into this one, so tell us a little bit about it.
Listen. All of that I was saying on Instagram about being beat up, about life being hard, it doesn't matter. Training's been going great. I hit everything I needed to, and I fully intend on winning.
That absolutely. Actually, same question while we're at it. Celine, how has training been going? Momentum? How are things going leading into this meet?
Training's been great. I feel better than ever, honestly, and I'm really excited for tomorrow.
Quick question about turning the quick turnaround from CPT. Are you expecting to chip any of those totals from there?
Yes.
Yeah? All right, awesome. So let's turn that over to Perk. Perk, same question. How has training been going? I know everybody's been following on IG, and clearly things have just been flying. So how are you feeling leading into this one?
Training's been actually very good lately. I didn't expect it to be this good, especially, after the hernia and stuff like that. But coming back, feel stronger than ever and just ready to see what I can do tomorrow.
And one last one. Same question to you, Mr. Bob. Bob Era himself, SSJ Bob. Tell us a little bit about how training's been going. It seems like all the doubles have been incredible leading into this. So it's unfortunate that we're not actually competing in dips, but I know if it was possible, we would do it. Tell us a little bit.
Training's been going good, hitting PRs, getting it done. Everything I'm doing, I'm getting better at. So, yeah, training's amazing. Couldn't
Really
be better.
excited. Awesome. Let's turn it over. Same thing, actually. Question for you, Miss Sam Calhoun.
Training has been very consistent, and so that's all I can ask of it. So I'm really excited for tomorrow.
Love it. Solana, I know you had a couple questions for our athletes, too.
So this, as you guys know, is a meet that's head-to-head based off of dots. But we also have nationals where it's based off of going head-to-head in weight classes. What makes you more excited, going head-to-head via dots against everyone or going head-to-head in your own weight class? Let's start with Sam. You have the mic.
I personally like going head-to-head within the weight class because I know what weight I need to weigh in at. With dots, either I'm going to come in super light or in a heavier end. It just leaves too much room for error to play the game you need to play. So weight classes is more direct, and you know what strategy you have to have coming into the meet.
Makes a lot of sense. Let's ask the same question to Jasmine Penn.
What was the question?
Okay, so what makes you more excited? Going head-to-head in your own weight class, such as nationals, or head-to-head like this meet where you're going head-to-head against everyone and weight class does not matter, just dots?
Honestly, like the dots better because, yes, I do like weight class, but it feels like it's more exciting and fun with competing with everybody because I'm not in the same weight class as Sam and Celine, but I would love to compete against them because I will never be as low as weight with them ever. So I would love to compete with them.
Very nice. Autumn.
Yeah, I'm really going to reiterate what Jasmine said. It's nice being, well, I compete against her all the time. So it's nice to compete against other people that you wouldn't normally share the platform with and get to learn and be a part of their journey too.
Very nice. Let's hand off some of the men. Can we go into Ashton? Same question, head-to-head in weight class or dots only?
I prefer just winning, really. It doesn't really matter to me. Dots, weight classes, formula, Wilks, IPF points, good lift points. I don't really care as long as I win.
Okay. Perk.
Wow, can't believe you just said that. To reiterate what Ashton said, I think dots matter more. I think the goal for everyone here is try to get the highest dots of all time, I'm pretty sure. I think that's what I want. So I'm going to go dots. Weight class, I love weight classes, but I mean, I'm never get to compete against Ashton or Bob ever, so I love that.
Very nice. Bob.
It's dots for me. Same, because I get to compete against someone I'm never going to be in the same weight class as, and I don't think the weight classes it's just not as competitive as competing with lighter people and heavier people for dots. So dots fuels me. It, makes you want to be better and see who's better pound for pound, who's the true champion of champions. Bang.
Very nice. Let me get one more. Sean Noriega, can you pass the mic to him? I want to know for you, what's more exciting, head-to-head or dots?
I'm gonna have to conflict with these guys. The head-to-head definitely matters more for me. I have more of a biased history in that regard. So my goal is always the head-to-head. These kind of meets, if you have an opportunity to perform well, that's always the goal. But I treat these meets more of a stepping stone, a source of data going into nationals. My frame's never gonna hold 230 like Ashton's. I'm never gonna be 5'3" like Perk. So
Real quick.
The head-to-head is where I'm at.
So, Sean, while you have the mic, would you say then that these dots meets are less pressure for you?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, let's be realistic here. I think that everybody knows, where the top three are going to fall, assuming everyone makes their lifts. And, I'm in this intermediary period where I'm just building through these meets, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next September. For this meet, I'm just going in, focusing on making lifts, and that's really it for me.
So for our next question, I actually want to direct it specifically to Ricky, Eric, Charlie, and Allie over here as well. So first for Eric, when it comes to competing in for either a national title or money meets, which one do you guys find more test? When it comes to competing for a national title or money meets, which one would you rather prefer? Which one do you find more motivating?
I enjoy them both a lot for different reasons, but if I was going to say more motivating, I would definitely say a national title. Like going into this past year, with how the circumstances were laid out, I wasn't going to let anybody beat me. And that was my mindset all of prep. A meet like this, I more so feel fortunate to come in here and compete with all of these exceptional lifters who are the best in the country and see where I land. So whether I go home with a little bit of pocket change or not, it's all good for me. But I think that for nationals, meets like that where you're going against your weight class and seeing how you stack up, it's definitely a lot more motivating.
Charlie Yang, same question.
Hey guys. Yeah, I would say I think national titles matter. You know, people at the end of the day, when you think about history, you count titles. You don't count like prize money. You know, I've never competed at a meet with prize money before, so this will be interesting. You know, going to be jostling with some of the best, some really exceptional athletes out here. But at the end of the day, like, money's temporary, but national titles are forever.
Pug the goat.
I would say for myself, accolades really matter a lot more than, you know, what's in your pocket when it comes to really building your resume in the powerlifting community. Saying that you're a national champ is something that only one person can say every single year, whereas, you know, if I were to win a certain amount of money at a particular event, it's not something that I'd really be that proud of compared to having something that I could say, you know, I'm the national champ.
And one last one over to Allie, please. Same question.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with all these guys. Winning a national title is pretty much the goal of mine. I think that's what I'd be the most proud of, but meets like this are really cool because it's just you get to share the platform with some of the best in the country, which is awesome.
So we heard you guys talk about how long you've been competing in general and how long you've been training. I want to know, I'm going to start actually over here, but how many years of competing did it take you before you got to a national level?
So my first meet, I qualified for nationals, but it was like the national qualifying total is definitely a lot different than it is now. I just remember Gino coming up to me saying, "Will I see you in Washington?" And I was like, "Sure." And then I figured out what the qualifying total was and just made sure I hit it. So it has a different feel now. So technically I've been competing on the national level since 2018, but it took me 3.5 years before I felt like I was like even a name that would possibly be spoken. So it definitely like takes time to understand not only like how to get stronger and trust the process and stuff, but also like how to actually compete. Like I feel like even though I say I've been competing at nationals since 2018, like I haven't been competing at a national level in my head for maybe a year. Yeah, so.
I'd like to agree because my first competition I qualified for nationals, but at the same way I felt like I just wasn't where I wanted to be. There's a lot more in my head that I wanted to accomplish, and then seeing everybody I competed against, like it just only entered more drive. And the whole time, like I just could think about, I want to reach this goal, I want to reach this goal, and next time I'll make prime time, next time I'll come here to Virginia Pro, and it's just going to keep building from there. But overall, it's just, you get to nationals and then it's just a whole different level.
Very nice. Heather.
My bad.
I was very similar. I qualified within my first year of competing as well. And I actually was invited to do the first prime time that Josh Rohr put on. And I remember being on that stage and telling my coach, I don't deserve to be here. Like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Why is this? And it all goes back to the mindset. And I think we're continuously morphing as we're continuing to compete and grow as lifters. And that's really neat that we get to do this. So having this pro status and being able to go to the next level is really a great opportunity that USA Powerlifting has given to us. So as we continue to grow, compete at the national level, and then to keep trying to get up to that next level, the pro level, the world level, thank you USA Powerlifting for helping us morph into these awesome lifters.
Heather, what was the first year for primetime? Was it 2016?
Yes. Yes.
That's incredible.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Rose, same question.
Yeah, so I'm only a year in right now, and really honored to just be here. But I think there's a huge difference between, you know, qualifying at the national level versus like being competitive. And so right now I don't even consider myself, you know, as one of the competitive national athletes. And so I'm still working on it and still working my way up there right now.
Amy.
What can I possibly add to all that? I really wanted to reiterate what Ariel said about, for those watching, qualifying for nationals when a lot of us qualified is not the same game as it is now. So when some of us tell you that we qualified our very first year,
did it go out?
Maybe.
Nope.
Okay. Please bear in mind that the QTs are much higher now than they were when some of us qualified. So yes, I qualified pretty early. I don't exactly remember because I wasn't competing in the USAPL when I first started. But yeah, I don't really have much to add other than reiterating, I think, a key point for the listeners and the viewers.
One more. Let's get Jaslyn.
Same. No, I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. Yeah, it took me my first try also, same thing. I mean, the totals were much lower then, so I would say it's still an accomplishment to be able to get the QT, and I think that that's really important to say, like, getting to that stage is still an accomplishment, so don't knock that, especially now. I just did my second national, so I'm still new to this whole thing, so yeah, TBD, that's it.
Definitely. And let's pass that mic over to Bork, Mr. Connor Borkert. So Connor, we're talking a little bit about QTs and how many years it took for somebody to get to the national level. A question for you and also for Tracy as well, because I know you guys are kind of in different points of your careers. Do you think everyone has potential to be able to reach a national level? And more specifically, do you think that everybody has an opportunity to be able to make it to a prime time level meet?
No. Because so at least like from like a number standpoint, the like prime time, you're like top 1% of, you're like the 1% of the 1% like in your weight classes, especially the like the top. Yeah, you're just you're just the cream of the crop. Like, unfortunately, I feel like a lot of people, they don't understand the sacrifices that a lot of people up here make on like a day-to-day basis to get to like to where they are. And so yeah, I guess the short answer to that is it's unfortunately no. That's the harsh reality of it.
Same question, Tracy.
Same answer. No. First off, it takes a lot of sacrifices you got to make outside of the sport in general. Whatever, you got work, you got to go to work all day, then you have to eat well at work, then you have to come and train for 3-4 hours after that, and a lot of people are not willing to make that sacrifice to begin with. Also, just being blunt about it, some people are physically more gifted than other people are. That goes into any type of professional athlete. You can't just go to somebody random and be like, yeah, you can make it to the NFL. No, you can't. See what I'm saying? So it's the same way right here. For us to be who we are and for people to be in that top 1%, somebody has to be there and somebody's going to be left out regardless. So that's kind of how it goes. So one is that hard work that some people aren't willing to put in, and also it's being physically gifted that some people just aren't physically gifted in that way.
Same question over to Helena.
I have to agree with what they said, especially with prime time, like Bork said. You have to be the top of anyone in that weight class or in that session qualifying for it. To get to the national level, I think you still have to have that genetic component and work hard and, like Tracy said, sacrifice, stay consistent, be disciplined. But especially to get to the primetime level, it's unfortunately not something that everyone is cut out for. You have to work hard and you have to have the right set of physical qualities.
So I know what you guys all do for a living separately and individually. I know some of you guys are coaches, but some of you guys also have different jobs that take a lot of time and you're not in the gym all day. So I want to start with Dr. Ali. What's it like balancing being a dentist and also life, everything, and also training at a high level?
I think for me, the key is just managing expectations, kind of depending on what season I'm in. So, I know if I'm in meet prep, something's going to give. Maybe I won't be the best, friend or communicator in some ways because work takes a lot out of me, training takes a lot out of me, so something has to give. And I kind of just, manage my expectations, communicate that to the people in my life. And then when, I'm not in meet prep also, sometimes training does take a little bit of a backseat. So it's kind of just managing my expectations with, knowing where to give, what, when, all of that. I
want to pass to Charlie Yang. Same question.
I'll echo a lot of what Ali says. I think it's about managing expectations. So I work as a software engineer. I kind of joke that I work 9 to 5 and then train 5 to 9. It's a routine, you know. It's a strict regiment routine that we stick to. It's about staying consistent and making sacrifices. You know, I don't have time to like go out for drinks. If you want to hang out with me, you gotta send me a Google Calendar invite. You know, that's how busy we are. So it's about priorities and managing expectations and knowing that there's a give and take. You know, sometimes training's gonna be more important, sometimes work's gonna be more important. So it's about prioritizing and making time for what's important.
Nice. Same question for Ashton. And tell us what you do for a living.
Yeah, sure. So, so I'm an active duty Army officer. I'm in my last year of my doctoral program for clinical and medical psychology. I've worked in multiple hospital settings, clinics, have done a lot of different types of things, ranging from assessments to therapy to neuropsych assessments as well. I do a lot of miscellaneous, meetings, really everything. And as a part of, sort of my training in the last few years, I've also had to compete alongside having a lot of other physical demands outside of powerlifting. So, I've done like 26-mile ruck marches. I've done, numerous PT tests, obstacle courses, a lot of very sort of strenuous and physical activity and events that most top powerlifters just never have to do. So, all in all, while I'm sort of competing often from, a pretty discrepant disadvantage, I just don't really like to use it as an excuse. It's a factor, but at the end of the day, either you win or you lose. So that's really what I'm focused on.
I want to also ask Autumn, because on top of having a 9-to-5 job, you're also a mother.
Yeah, so basically I have work, I have my family, and I have training. You just make all three a priority, and you do what it takes to get all three done. I just make all of it non-negotiable. So obviously if I have to wake up earlier, I'm waking up earlier. I just work 9 to 5 and then train and then hurry home so I can spend some quality time with my family.
You do some coaching too, right?
I do. I coach just a small handful in the very limited free time that I have.
I'm going to ask one more person. Jasmine Penn. Do I need to repeat the question?
Well, what was the question?
So what's it like balancing a 9-to-5 job, also making time for your boyfriend, family life, training, everything?
It sucks. Like after working a 10-hour shift and having 2 side hustles and I gotta go to the gym for 4 or 5 hours. It's a lot, but I have to balance it from what Autumn said of getting up early in the morning and prioritizing. I had to stop powerlifting for a period of time to focus on my schooling to graduate to get money in my pocket for my 9 to 5. So I had to stop. So like I said, prioritizing is best. Me and my boyfriend had to communicate of like meeting each other because we have priority of working and family stuff and all that. So it's just communication and also just what's more important in your life. I'm not saying powerlifting isn't. It's just mainly getting my bills paid and having a roof over my head. So
yes. Yeah. Also, what do you do for a living and your side hustles too?
I'm in occupational therapy, and I have 2 sponsors, and I have a podcast.
Sweet. What's the name of the podcast? We're here for the plugs.
CWP Chicken Wing Podcast.
You heard it here
Rated
first, everybody. This is a family show, Jasmine. All right. So let's turn this one over for a couple other different questions. Let's hand this one over to Perk. Perk, we know bench has been blowing up and things have been going well on there. Everyone's been following it on there. It's been going great. But you talked a little bit about the role that nutrition has played on your training, but more specifically how it's gone for your bench press. What would you say the role nutrition and supplementation has played specifically for you when it comes to getting ready for this meet?
So originally before I competed in August, I was probably eating once or twice a day, full meals.
I would just honestly just eat when I felt hungry and I didn't feel hungry a lot. And then that changed after my meet because I wanted to, catch up to people that I'd fallen behind. But yeah, now I can say that I eat so much more, 3 times a day, try to get basically every source in, protein, carbs, all that stuff. And basically just eating more carbs throughout the day is honestly what helped me blow that bench up. Like if you want your bench to skyrocket, dude, carbs. Carbs.
Let's hand this one over to the Nori plate. Sean, same question.
Yeah, I mean, I've been tracking my food longer than I've been lifting. I was an overweight kid, and that was something that I took seriously from an early age. But for the sake of performance, I mean, I've obviously taken myself to a high level in this sport, but there are undoubtedly people more gifted than I am. So I have to cross my T's and dot my I's at every turn. And that's kind of the way that I've always viewed my place in this sport, where if I want to be at the top, I have to do every single thing right. So nutrition has just always been a non-negotiable for me, and it will continue to be. So,
Super Saiyan Bob, same question.
Testing. All right, bet. So just like Sean said, I track my macros to the T. I've been doing it for like a year and a half straight, and I started doing it because I felt like Sean said, I'm not the most gifted in the sport, so I gotta eat my way up into the next weight class and then the next weight class, and then I gotta just put on the weight, and it's done it's done wonders for my bench. Like when I was a 93, I literally wanted to quit benching and just squat and deadlift. And then I stayed with it, started eating just like Perk, and it just blew me up. So track your macros, stay on point. Trust me, it helps.
You said you're not that gifted in the sport?
Not that as gifted as others,
okay.
like leverage-wise.
Okay, cool.
Let's hand this one over to Celine. Celine, same question. The role that Celine, the role that nutrition and supplementation has played in your training.
Yeah, so right now I'm not tracking macros. I recently moved up a weight class, and really the priority for me is just to get enough protein. I guess I would call it like intuitive eating. But whenever I'm like cutting down to like 60 kilos, obviously it's way more important to track everything that I eat and make sure that I'm using my like resources for food and energy as efficiently as possible, and keeping my hunger from not being too bad. So yeah, right now it's less of a priority, just making sure to get that protein and the pre-workout carbs. That's the main thing.
Same question, last one for Juliana.
It's about nutrition. My nutrition is not good. I have not tracked anything since last June, and my coach, Matt Holden, gets very mad because I train fasted and I tend to not eat enough. Definitely don't meet any of my macro goals, but I'm trying. I'm working on it, and I'm trying. Yeah.
Do you think you'll prioritize that in the future, or do you think it doesn't really matter right now?
No, I'm definitely trying to prioritize that in the future. With my job and school, I tend to just, like Perk said, I don't get hungry. And when I don't get hungry, I don't eat. And so I'll just be focused on other things, and then it's 6 o'clock and I haven't eaten anything. So definitely trying to prioritize that going forward, especially after this meet leading into nationals. I'm trying to make it much more precise, much more like actually eating. So
yes, and while it's on you, just what do you do for a living, and how long, like what are you in school for?
So right now I'm in school, and then whenever I do have time in between school or semesters, I work as an orthodontic assistant, and I'm pre-dental right now.
Okay, very nice. So you guys have all been lifting for a very long time, obviously, and I've seen everything from the silent, calm lifter to the very hyped lifter. So I'm curious, I'm gonna start with Ariel. What does it take for you to get hyped for a PR specifically? Like, give me the whole ritual.
Ooh. So I feel like the way that I've lifted recently has definitely changed. I will credit Sam, actually, to helping me with my lifting mindset quite a bit. Her and I have had conversations about, like, I even remember one time I had a bad bench day and I texted her and she was like, you can either cry about it or you can get over it. And I was like, okay, I'll get over it. But anyways, so my mindset has changed a little bit in terms of lifting. I actually definitely don't get as hype as I used to get. I remember at the pro last year, hearing the commentary, people were like, holy crap, she's so hype. And like some of that sometimes comes out now, but like I guess take my last heavy deadlift day of this prep, for example. I've actually learned a lot about my body since I've started paying attention to it. And I don't necessarily have to try to get my heart rate up anymore. My body knows when I need to have my heart rate high. It knows when it doesn't really need to be high. You know, I kind of wait until I'm like, okay, I feel it. I feel my body getting ready, and then I go for my next warm-up. Obviously, it can change a little bit on meet day depending on when I need to do my warm-ups. But it actually, you know, it doesn't look as hype as it used to look. It looks a lot more like calm and collected, just my heart rate's going like crazy in my body. You know, I will still do, I am a belt thrower. If I like a lift, I will chuck my belt behind me and yell at the camera, which Sam has also made fun of me about. But all in good fun. But yeah, so, you know, I used to be more like out of my mind hype, and now I use those energy reserves and I only get hype when I really, really need to be, if that makes sense.
Makes sense. Let's ask Lorenzo as well. What's it take for you to get hyped for your PRs?
For me, it's the music. It's got to be the music. You give me some C Murder, Duke Deuce, let's see, ASAP Ferg, any of those, and I'm good to go. But outside, I'm calm, cool, collective. But it's all up in here. I'll get ready.
Heather, too.
I used to be a nervous lifter, so I was like really timid, really reserved, and I've actually come the opposite direction. But I did learn like my adrenaline was totally dumping at all times. And so that was a big key for me, is to learn to harness that so that I had more energy going into the PRs, and learning how to just harness that adrenaline dumping constantly. And once I did that, it really helped me be able to just put the energy into the bar instead of in the warm-up room or before even hitting the bar. So I'm chill.
Okay. Rose, same question.
Yeah, my heart rate goes up very quickly, and so I try to calm myself down. I listen to a lo-fi study music playlist from college before my attempts, and I think I just try to focus on getting my mind settled instead of being jumpy, going out there jumping commands or doing anything that might freak myself out. Yeah.
Let's go with Amy.
I definitely used to be more wildly hyped, not on your level. But that used to be my way to handle the nerves. Like I would get, you know, so jittery that if I would just get sort of angry, I couldn't be scared because I was mad. I was like, I'm, you know, mad at the bar or whatever. But I also am heavily influenced by Sam in a lot of great ways, and I've learned to control it. And so I can still take that energy, but I can direct it. And yeah, right before I take the bar, it's gone. And I hear those last two cues in my head, and we go. That's my style.
Jaslyn.
I like to scream, so that's what I do. It's pretty simple. I just scream and then I go for it. And I do that every time and I don't change it. And that's that.
Very nice. I'm gonna ask one more. Let's ask Sam, because you coach both Jaslyn and Amy. Seems like they're taking some stuff from you.
Well, I wish I could be hype, because I find those lifters very entertaining. So I actually wish I could be a hype person. But every time I've tried to be hype, it just didn't go in my favor. So by me being calm, I'm able to manage my expectations and just focus on executing.
So we all know as powerlifters here, injuries are a part of the game. You guys have all been injured at one point in your careers. Some of you guys more than others. I want to direct a question to Ashton, somebody who's dealt with some injuries before. Ashton, one of our fan questions was, what do you do when it comes to dealing with an injury, say like with your pec? How do you know when it was too soon to try to start pressing again, or how soon you could start really trying to go for like your RP8s, your RP9s? Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah. To address the last part of that real quick, it's actually very rare that I do an RP threshold of 8 or 9 in training. It's just a lot of weight, and if I do that too often, especially with the other sort of physical things that I do, no one's going to be able to do that, especially at the weights that I'm lifting. So I definitely strategically plan a lot of my training and my lifting, and that's really the best way to prevent a lot of injuries. And if you are injured, it's the best way to manage those injuries and to allow them to heal over time. I never become sedentary. I never stop training. I never stop exercising. I just work around whatever I have. And I use whatever resources I have at my disposal. And and I just keep training until it heals. I don't stop.
Same question then for Perk. Perk, you actually came off of an injury yourself. I remember we worked together. We did commentary at the Arnold, and you were injured at the time. So tell us a little bit about your injury routine and how you're able to get back on the platform.
Initially, I was scared that I would never be able to lift again heavily because that's what the doctor told me. But then I started talking to other people, other powerlifters that have been injured and had similar injuries. And I think the best thing that worked for me was rest 100%. I think after my surgery, I probably didn't leave the bed for a week. I didn't get up, didn't move. I had people bring me food and stuff like that. It was kind of sad, not going to lie. But other than that, I say just rest, honestly, and trying to keep a positive mindset on coming back is the best way to get over it. That's really it.
Same question actually for Charlie Yang. I know Charlie actually dealt with a few injuries himself, so talk to us a little bit about his routine.
This time last year, I was dealing with like hip impingement. Every meet prep, I seemed to like strain my pecs, right one or left one. And I think with just like repetition, I'm just kind of used to it. I'm a glass cannon. But I try not to just like let it get to me mentally. I think like lifting is a really big part of all of who we are, and when we aren't able to do that, it can really get to you. But just like recognizing the parts of myself that I enjoy and being able to challenge that and just take a break from lifting. I think Ashton kind of said it, like always keep the blood flowing, keep moving, work around it, lower the intensity, find variations that work for you. So it's not about stopping, it's about finding the right solution for whatever it is you're dealing with.
Bork, same question.
Yeah, definitely agree with what has like already been said, but like the key is to not stop lifting altogether. Definitely give a lot of credit to my coach Brad, who's sitting over there. He's the man when it comes to this stuff. He one of the best in the business. The key is just like to find movements that don't cause pain, but like you can still end up progressing. And I think an underestimated part of it is like the whole mental aspect of an injury, because say you have an injury to like your back, like I had a pretty bad back injury back right before 2019 Raw Nationals, and it hurt like hell to deadlift, and luckily ended up actually getting like PRing that meet. But like the mental aspect alone of like trusting that you're gonna be fine, like no matter what happens, like trusting like your coach and maybe like a physical therapist, if you work with like a physical therapist, like trusting that process is definitely like really tough, but probably the most crucial aspect of it.
Let's pass the mic to Sean. This is a fan question. So you are a coach and you've obviously worked with a lot of mid-level competitors and brought them to a national level. How important do you think it is to have a coach when you are a mid-level competitor and you're trying to become national level?
Oh, well, I mean, if your goal is to compete at the highest level in powerlifting or any sport, I think it's important that you have a coach. You need the structure, you need the guidance, you need dealing with something like an injury. You need someone who's able to give you the wisdom and the tools. And, I've had a great relationship with Connor's coach, Brad, over the years. Like, I have people who I've networked with as coaches who have given me, wisdom, knowledge, resources to be able to handle these sort of things with athletes, where if you don't have a coach, you're going to be, up Schitt's Creek without a paddle when you get hurt and don't really have anywhere to go. So in all circumstances, I really think that it's, important to have a coach. Mid-level lifters, beginners, if your goal is to be serious in the sport, it's a non-negotiable.
Okay. Same question for Eric.
I would agree with Sean. You're going to have a hard time getting to that level, and if you're a mid-level lifter, going to that advancement without somebody guiding you. And a lot of what I think about with coaching is the emotional aspect, the stuff besides writing the program. Coaching people to be better athletes with their mindset, emotionally not feeding into the negative stuff and trying to steer towards like a positive way and stuff like that. And I think that plays a big part when it comes to injuries, when it comes to, dissecting and troubleshooting when you have to. So having someone that you can communicate your goals with, that know how to help you, I think is really important for anybody.
Let's also ask Autumn. I know you've made a lot of improvements since you started with your coach, PR's Performance, Steve Novi, sitting over here.
Yeah, working with Steve's probably been the best thing I've ever done, just mainly for, going in, I knew the programming was going to be on point, but he definitely coached me through like a really rough year, and without Steve, I don't think I would have done that myself, going from self-coaching. He definitely guided me through a lot of injuries, a lot of nights that I didn't sleep or didn't drink any water. So just having that non-biased person there, and for the emotional support too. Just he is my biggest support, but also my biggest hater at the same time, which motivates me too.
Okay. Let's also go with Ariel. I know big changes happened once you started with Carly.
Yeah, so my previous coach, John Flagg, he was literally like a dad to me. I love him to death. It was his birthday the other day. I wished him happy birthday, and we still talk. But my switch to Carly was really just because my gut told me I needed a change. And it was it's hard. Anyone here knows, your coach is a big part of your life. And they, like everyone has said, they guide you. They not only write your program, but they're there to talk to you about things. They're there to hopefully maybe be there on meet day, or at least write your plan on meet day or whatever. But switching to Carly Skripinski, otherwise known as Mustache Fitness, was an incredible decision. He's very good for me on meet day as well. People like to think of me as a really hype lifter, but I'm actually very quiet on meet day until I'm maybe up on the platform for a third attempt or something. And he runs the show. He's like, do that for 3, do that for a single. He's a very confident dude. He walks in with his baseball jersey that says mustache on it, and his hat, and he's very confident in what he does. And I think having a coach that knows what they're doing and shows that they know what they're doing is really, really important. And so I definitely, my numbers have gone up over 40 kilos since starting with him as a total. So,
excellent. And Juliana, same question.
I think it's very important to have a coach, especially if you want to get to the higher level of the sport. My coach, Matt Holden, like I said, through game day, is awesome. I am such a baby when it comes to being at meet day. I don't know when to put my singlet on. I don't know when to put my shoes on. And Matt takes care of all of it. So that's important for me because I get so anxious. I'm usually really, really quiet. So having someone who will take the initiative of telling me what to do when, how many reps here, is really important. So it gives me the leadership I need, I think, and the stability of having someone give me the program is very important to me. I don't know at all what I'm doing. I just do whatever Matt tells me to do, and it works, and that's great. But I think it's just important if you want to get to the higher level. I'm not as high of a level as any of these guys. I'm very just happy to be here and included, but it's something to look up to, and I think I couldn't even be sitting here with them without the coaching that I have.
Question before our second to last one for Lorenzo. Lorenzo, when it comes to meet day and it comes to attempt selection, and you have your game day handler, do you want to know what's going to be on the bar, or would you rather not know?
For me, I kind of want to know, but sometimes Heather surprises me. But either way, I'm fine because you just have to go in with confidence. And no matter what's on the bar, you still got to try to pick it up or push it, squat it, whatever you got to do to move it.
Heather, same question.
Typically, I know what's going to be on the bar because I pick those numbers for me. But if I'm going from a coach's standpoint, I like to have a conversation with my athletes and ask them and have a little conversation if they want to lift this or they feel confident in lifting it. And then sometimes I have to say, you have to trust me what's on there because we need this to win. And I've done the studies and I know what that next person can do and probably what they can't do. And so you got to trust me and you got to go pick that bar up. So.
Same question, Rose.
Yeah, I really like to know what's on the bar as someone who's kind of just a control freak in normal life. But sometimes when I'm just really unsure, like after I lift, I forget how it moved. I don't, I blank. And so I just love having a handler who really knows my lifts, a coach who can, Coach Pug over there, who can really know what I'm gonna do and, have them make that final decision for me.
Same question, actually, Autumn and then Jasmine.
So I put a lot of trust in Steve. I know he's never going to load anything that I can't lift, but we do occasionally have those conversations where he gives me that really nervous head nod. I think the more nervous Steve gets, the more important I know the lift is. So if Steve's over there sweating and pulling his shirt, then I'm like, all right, this is a big lift. I probably should hit this.
Jasmine, same question.
I personally don't like to know none of my numbers. I honestly don't even want to know my openers because I self-limit myself so much. Like I believe that I can't even, I feel like I can't even lift. Like it feels like I'm not up there. Like I always keep asking Michael, be like, you think I'm gonna get top 3 or something? He's like, girl, get out of my face. Like I always self-limit myself, so I don't like to know nothing. Like I honestly don't even look at the bar when I walk in. I just see the bar. I don't see nothing on the sides. I just focus on positioning and getting the lift up, and that's it. So that's it.
So 1 second to last question, actually. Directing this one directly to Ricky. Ricky's been talking a little bit about online how this is potentially his last meet ever. Ricky, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, this is going to be my last competition. I think for myself, being a professional powerlifter, it requires a certain level of obsession that I'm certain that every single one of these people here have. At this point in my life, I think I could be a better patron of the powerlifting community and offer a little bit more, but by no means does that mean that I'm going to not do as well as I can tomorrow.
Okay. Let's hand the mic to Bob. Bob, who do you believe is your biggest competition at this meet?
My biggest competition is Ashton Ruska. Bang.
Okay. Perk. Same question.
No one. Myself.
Real talk?
You're wrong.
Ashton.
What?
Same question.
Same question?
Yeah.
Them.
You say him or them?
Them.
Him.
Both.
Both.
Those. Yeah.
Okay. Listen, I can't tell what he said. He pointed one finger to 2 people.
Yes, Bob and Perkins are definitely both the are going to be the biggest obstacle in this meet. I've watched all of these guys' training, and right now I can confidently say that those are the 2 heaviest hitters at the moment. But I mean, you never know what can happen on game day. Things can change, so we'll see.
Celine, same question.
Sam Calhoun is probably my biggest competition at this meet. It's honestly really cool to be able to compete, I guess, kind of head-to-head with her for the first time ever. She's been a huge inspiration to me in this sport, and it's really been awesome to see her pave the way, and I'm really excited. So.
Sam?
So I've been trying really hard not to unfollow you on Instagram. So normally before a competition, I unfollow all my competitors, or people who I believe are competitors to me. So if I do unfollow you, it's actually a compliment. But I actually really like Celine. We've had really good conversations. So it's been killing me not to unfollow you. So yeah, Celine is my biggest competition tomorrow.
Very nice. And going off of that, Jasmine, do you pay attention to your competitors' numbers and their lifts as you get closer to a meet?
Absolutely not. I don't even know no one's numbers. I just honestly go to the meet, do my lifts, and have fun. Like if I look at other people's numbers, I'm gonna be like, I'm kind of close to them. I'm a little bit close. Like I just don't want to have that already mindset in my head. I want to just go there, have fun, and not look at their lifts. Like I might like browse just a little bit, but not as much. So.
Autumn, same question. Do you pay attention to your numbers?
That's what I pay Steve DeNovi for.
Fair. Ashton, do you pay attention?
This is sort of a funny question. I've been blocked by a few individuals in the past. And it is what it is, but, for me, I can watch every single lift that they do, and with most of my competitors, I usually do that. I like to have a very good idea of what they're going to be capable of on the day, and usually with my predictions, I'm pretty accurate. So I'm going to lend a lot of my victories in the past to also knowing exactly what everyone else was capable of.
Perk, same question.
I only watch one competitor. He knows who he is. I won't say his name. No, they're not here. They're not here. They're not in the USAPL. So that's the only person I care about, really. That's the only person I watch. We don't have to speak of him, but yeah.
Bob.
Absolutely. I watch Ashton every single day. I study his lifts every single day. Yeah.
And last but not least, Sean.
I'm going to contrast Autumn here and say that I think Steve wishes that I had Autumn's outlook on this situation here. So my answer is that I should stop watching other athletes' lifts as much.
Well, folks, I think we're about reached time. So with that, we're going to wrap up our Q&A. Thank you so much to all of our awesome pros here, USAPL or USA Powerlifting pros here. Really, really thankful. Really glad that you guys have made it out tonight. We're all super excited to watch you guys tomorrow. Speaking for myself, Solana, and the rest of our viewing audience, we're going to wrap things up here. Thank you guys so much for joining us here at the USA Powerlifting Virginia Pro Q&A. Excited to see you guys tomorrow. Take it away.